This one's for the smart kids, the ones who were always told they'd go far, who were praised, rewarded, and seen as ahead of their time. So, why do so many of them grow up feeling stuck, disconnected, and lonely? Why does adulthood feel like a trap when it was supposed to be a reward? On the outside, everything still looks fine, still sharp, still capable. But inside, there's this quiet, constant sense of isolation. Like life is happening to everyone else, and you're just watching from the sidelines. Turns out there's a reason for that. As a child, being smart often becomes the entire identity. It gets reinforced everywhere, by teachers, parents, even classmates. It feels good. Being smart means praise, attention. Things come easily and it feels like the world is yours. But that praise, it usually isn't for effort, it's for ease. You were praised for solving things fast, for understanding without trying, for never needing help. And slowly, the belief takes root. If I'm smart, things should always be easy. Then adulthood arrives. Suddenly, things aren't easy. Challenges show up. Failure happens. And instead of treating them like normal parts of growth, they start to feel like a threat. If you're really smart, why are you struggling? So the instinct becomes, avoid difficulty. Don't raise your hand unless you're certain. Don't play games unless you're sure you'll win. Don't try things that might reveal you're not the smartest in the room. And just like that, life starts to shrink. You only do what you're already good at. You cling to what feels familiar. You protect that identity, the one built around effortless success. Meanwhile, everyone else is out there learning, failing, growing. But you're stuck in a shrinking comfort zone. And leaving it feels terrifying. Eventually, it catches up. The isolation, the disconnection, the fear of being found out. Because when you stop growing, you also stop connecting. You miss out on the moments where friendships are built, clubs, teams, shared struggles. You opt out of those moments out of fear, and then wonder why you feel so alone. But connection doesn't stop being a need, so you try to meet it the only way you know how, through your mind. You observe, you analyze, you run simulations in your head. You develop cognitive empathy, the ability to understand how people feel without actually feeling it with them. It works, kind of. You can keep up in conversations. You might even seem charismatic. But deep down, you're exhausted. Because instead of simply being present with people, you're calculating every move, every word. Now socializing becomes another thing you need to be good at. And once again, to avoid failing, you start avoiding it. Then comes the spiral. You try to fix loneliness with logic. You apply intellect to emotional wounds. You write arguments to convince yourself you're fine. You dissect your feelings like a science experiment. But intelligence doesn't heal emotional pain. It can't answer the question, am I enough? That answer can only come from emotional growth, and that's the part that often got left behind. When the loneliness becomes unbearable, the ego steps in with a defense. I'm just different from other people. I'm too smart to relate to them. They don't get me. That's not confidence. That's defensive arrogance. It's a shield meant to protect the part of you that feels painfully left out. It's easier to feel superior than it is to admit you're lonely. But the shield builds a wall, and that wall keeps out the very thing you've been craving. Real connection. So, how do you break free? Start here. Let go of the smart kid identity. Not because intelligence is bad, but because tying your self-worth to it is toxic. If your value only exists in how easily you succeed, then failure will always feel like a crisis. You'll avoid challenges, sabotage progress, and protect a fragile image instead of building a resilient life. Now's the time to shift that identity. From I must look intelligent to I'm here to grow. From don't let them see you fail to it's okay to be messy. Start showing up. Try new things. Be terrible at them. Not to impress, just to participate, just to feel alive. Yes, it will feel awkward. Yes, it might feel like a step back, but it's not. It's your first step toward becoming whole. That old identity said, you're only valuable if you're exceptional. The new one says, you're valuable because you're human, and being human means you're allowed to struggle. to grow slowly, to feel lost, to not know what you're doing. But none of that means you're broken. The way forward isn't perfect, polished action. It's real, honest, human effort. So, if you've spent your life being the smartest person in the room but now feel numb, stuck, or disconnected, this is your moment. Let go of the story. Stop trying to be impressive. Start trying to be real. You don't need to be the smartest person to belong. You just need to be someone willing to show up. Even when it's hard. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's unfamiliar. Because when you finally let go of the need to be above it all, you get to step into the world where everyone else lives. The place where real connection happens. And maybe for the first time, you feel at home. If anything in this resonated, if you saw yourself in these patterns or felt something click, leave a comment. Chances are someone else out there feels exactly the same way, and sometimes naming it is the first step to healing. Take care of your mind. See you in the next video.